Hi, this is Justin Hitt, the previous owner of JWH Consolidated. And for the first time in 29 years, I won't have a business. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, I'm going to put together a series of webinars and live Q&A calls to address some of that experience and help you solve problems in your business on a complimentary basis. In fact, I'm going to simply grab something off of my desk, write up a little outline, and then cover that item in about a 15-minute segment. I'll also take questions from the audience, and I'll bring in questions that you've sent in. Now, this is a very important and valuable resource because over those 29 years, I've written programs like how to get your first copywriting assignment. I have a website called Ad Briefings Copywriting Tips. Now, many of my websites are going to stay up, but it actually teaches people how to get copywriting assignments, and I've used this with coaching, and it's actually about 80, 90 pages of materials. I'll cover a quick summary that might be maybe how do you get your first letter out the door. Whatever your questions are. I'll cover topics on business development, project management, risk management, and other areas to which I have direct experience over the last 29, almost 3 decades. Now, the reason for closing down the business is that 2020 has been a really crappy year for everybody. And I'd like to be very, very blunt with you. I'd like to focus on the property investing, and city regulations have been getting pretty crazy. So we have a case where the federal government and local governments and state governments have did some really crazy things during the COVID, and I'm expecting inflation to get very, very high. I'm also expecting that economically, being a solopreneur or a small consultant, it's not feasible. So I'm actually focusing on a major employment assignment, and I'm going to focus 100% on there because they've got big problems that need to be solved. And I'm going to scope down my consulting work to basically this from my desk presentation, which is going to be literally, you can see in the background over here how messy my office is. This is my conference room. I'm literally going to grab a pile off the desk, cover it for 15 minutes, try to solve a major problem that you're likely facing, and solve that problem for you, and then answer any questions that you might have. I'm going to do this for free because it's one-to-many, and I'm going to be recording it. So I'll have a copy for prosperity. Now, of course, if you have questions that we can't answer online and you want to get additional information, or you'd like me to refer you to somebody who can help you with the solution, I can certainly do that. But I am not available for hire. Don't try to hire me. I'm not trying to get hired. I'm not marketing for my business. I'm just trying to connect you with resources. One of the resources that I will highly recommend you get with is SCORE, and it's actually a volunteer organization affiliate with the Small Business Administration, and a lot of the referrals and references will be to SCORE-related materials. I'm not currently a volunteer with SCORE at this time. I have been a volunteer with SCORE in the past, but like I said, 2020 has been a rough year for a lot of people, so I want to get you the value of the advice and insights that perhaps you may not have been able to afford before, and I want to be able to do it in such a way that's literally cleaning up my office, because there are piles everywhere. It's a real mess. So I might also be moving, and there might be some more properties acquired, and there might be some properties consolidated. I'm not really sure. There may be opportunities that we could joint venture on outside of a business arrangement. You can find out what I know and what I'm interested in, and what I can find out what you know and what you're interested in. Now, who is this for? This is very important. First off, I work with $1 million plus business owners. So if you own a business that's $1 million or more, the insights that I can share with you can make a difference in taking it from $1 million to $5 million to $10 million or more. I've also in the past worked with high-income professionals and entrepreneurs. Those are people who make $100,000 or more. Now, that doesn't mean that what I share wouldn't work for somebody that's up and coming, who's making $50K, and they're moving forward, and they got a small business. It doesn't mean it wouldn't help somebody who's been affluent in the past and maybe had a little setback due to COVID, and they want to get back on track, or they had setback due to a natural disaster. One of the programs I'm going to cover, and I've covered it for free or complimentary in the past, is my disaster recovery program. I've covered recession busting. I've covered disaster recovery. I've covered low-cost marketing, direct response marketing. I've covered risk management for political situations. I've covered a lot of topics over the years which have not been generally published. It's mainly been client work that has been delivered to the client. I'm going to take some of those materials, package them up nice and neat into like a 15-minute presentation for the Q&A, maybe a 45-minute presentation, but I'm not going to get fancy with slides. I'm going to stream this from different locations, and I'm not really trying to impress you with my video editing skills. In fact, I have more than 100 gigabytes of video and audio and presentations and telephone calls and presentations I've done that I was paid to do that, frankly, I haven't published. Only me and the original audience has ever seen them. So I want to take this sabbatical opportunity to take the next 12 to 18 months to zero in on my investments and to zero in on my property deals, which are income, and to zero in on my employment and my private client base, which is also income, and to still package this up and give it away so that you can get the tools that you need. Again, I'm not looking for assignments. I'm not trying to find clients. I am simply getting information out to your hands right now when you need it most. Now, it's very specific how you can ask questions. First off, you can visit my website at justinhitt.com. That's JUSTINHITT.com, or my core business site that's still there at jwhco.com. And you can contact me through the website by fax or postal mail. Okay, so I don't want willy-nilly questions like, why is the sky blue, or how do I get more income in my business? I want to know the challenges that you face, the specific problems that you will seriously overcome, because I'm not here to create content. There's so much content on the internet that it is just overwhelming at times. I'm here to answer specific questions for specific people. So if you run $1 million plus business and you're looking for a vendor, for example, that can do direct mail as well as manage your social media campaigns, I'm not going to do that for you. That's not me, but I know a number of local vendors here. I also know some vendors through mastermind groups or memberships that I'm involved in, and I can match you up. So I'll need to learn about your situation, the type of audience. Do you need list management? Do you need this or that? And then I'll answer the question. I might cover 5 points you need to know before you hire a direct mail company. Because I've done that in the past. I've hired direct mail companies and mail shops to send out letters and newsletters for me. So this From the Desk program will do a little matchmaking. But again, you've got to raise your hand and you've got to fax me something that is actually paragraphs and legible and I can understand what the hell you're asking about, because I'm not here as a charity. I'm here as a helping hand. Now, you can also mail my office, and if you already got a previous relationship with me, you can email me. But ultimately, I need to have something to hold in my hand so that I can say, okay, here's the problem you're facing. Here's some of the things that you've tried. Here are some considerations. I can then bring my experiences to the table, my 29 years of experience as a small business owner. I've worked with venture capitalists. I've worked with Fortune 100s. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably 300 or 400 small businesses, and that could be $1 million to $20 million, but some smaller than that. And even during, if you got my book from Amazon, how you can increase business profits, blah, 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 whatever it is, go to Amazon, look up my name. You could actually see that I created $200 million during the point between the 2000 recession and the point in which that book was originally written, maybe 2008. I create $200 million in new business for clients. Now, how do we do that? Well, I'll cover that in the programs. We also, during the 2000 recession, put on the table $50 million in business. Now, since 2000 to now, which is now 2020, that's 20 years in business. I've actually helped clients create hundreds of millions of dollars, cost savings, avoidance of regulatory issues. There's a thing called cost avoidance in your supply chain or your procurement. All these factors together is definitely a good $1 billion. And I can document it, and we'll share the stories with you. And $1 billion might seem like a lot, by the way, and high income, $100,000 a year might seem like a lot. It's nothing these days. The government, United States government, just gave away $2 trillion in stimulus funding. Some of you guys borrowed that money, and you're wondering how you're going to pay it back. Well, I'm going to cover those things in this program because I do believe the entrepreneur the small business owner, the person willing to take a risk with their own capital, is the most valuable resource in the United States to recover from this global COVID pandemic. And there's other factors that are coming out here. Cost of food is going up. So we'll talk a little bit about sustainability and your ability to maintain security for your family. We'll talk a little bit about the characteristics of homesteading. I had a newsletter going on called Prosperity Homestead, where I shared my own experiences. We're moving towards a more agricultural zoned area, and I'm looking to set up my 40-foot by 40-foot garden. I've been notified by the city that it's too big. I'm really interested in sustainability and environmental factors, and I'd like to share some of that with you too. But again, it's not fancy. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you the facts that I probably got more information sitting around, more answers sitting around my office than you've got information available for the solution or the problem or the challenge that you're facing right now. And what I like to be able to do is just simply package that up. Now I'm taking down some of my websites because I'm not in business anymore. I'm letting my business license expire. We'll talk a little bit about why that's happening. I let go 12 part-time individuals. So the city gives me a hard time. I need to shut down the business. I let go 12 part-time individuals because I have no need for them now. I'm not in business anymore. So again, there's nobody to edit videos. There's nobody to clean up the audio. There's nobody to really receive your questions other than me. So that's why I asked that if you do write in, tell me about the problem you're facing. Tell me about the challenges and what would it mean to you if you were able to go to that next level? And what would that next level look like? What are the problems, the frustrations, the challenges? And I'll compile those together and I'll sit down and just simply answer them. I'm calling this program From My Desk, and there is a print newsletter involved because you know what the secret is? I know you don't have time for social media. I know you don't have time to check in on a live event. I know you don't have time to go to a website and find this stuff. So if you do join the print newsletter, I'll actually send you a postcard in the mail when we have a new episode or before we have like a webinar where we might go into depth, like 90 minutes into a topic. There have been topics that have come up recently about borrowing the COVID money, all this money the SBA is giving out, these low doc loans, low interest rates. Some questions have come out about using that money to buy other businesses as a way to take capital and buy up a good business that's maybe struggling a little bit because of logistics or because of supply chain, and then simply boost that business as things recover. I've gotten questions about how long do you think it'll be before we recover. We can cover all that and more. Now I'm going to stream the majority of these videos, but you need to be on my email list in order to know when I'm doing the live videos because I don't yet have a fixed time for that. So I'll pre-record some things and then I'll publish them on a regular basis. But we're going to actually do some live event videos where we can actually tap into my experience with counterintelligence, cybersecurity, and other areas of risk when it comes to some of the dirty tricks that businesses do. Like, for example, do you know that a politician raising money through a book they sell is the oldest means of receiving foreign contributions ever invented? In fact, in the 1700s, there was someone accused of only running for office so they can sell their books. In fact, running for office and selling your book is a way to get rich. Before Joe Biden was vice president of the United States, he only made a couple $100,000 a year. After he's president, now today, he makes $7 million a year, mostly book royalties, consulting fees, and speaking engagements. I have experience with anti-money laundering. I have experience with those factors of business development. Sometimes when your business grows quickly and you're over $1 million, as an owner, you start losing track of things and disconnecting with the day-to-day activities. And so I've helped business owners with embezzlement issues to find it and stop it. Also, you want to, holding your vendors accountable. What are the methods and processes? And you'd be surprised that the same skill that prevents embezzlement, the same skill that prevents a money laundering scheme or something, false vendors or anything like that, those are all the same skills that you can use to make sure your marketing campaigns are actually producing new customers for your business. So again, I'm on a sabbatical. No, don't call my phone. Don't leave me messages and want to talk to me and pick my brain. You simply get out a sheet of paper and you write a little outline and then type that up in a nice message. Describe your problem, the challenges you're facing, what you'd like the solution to look like, what kind of obstacles have you seen. Include your full contact information so I can let you know when I answer your question. And then we'll stack up those questions. And there's no shortage of stacks around here. Another thing I'm going to do on my sabbatical is actually read more of my books. I have a little stack over here of books that I want to read, including stories from, this is it. Maybe I'm going to sit down and read some stuff to you guys. Stories from Comprehensive Mirror and Aid in Government. Did you know that the Chinese president, this is his favorite book? Not the kids version of it. I got the kids version because it'd be easy to read because I don't read Chinese. But ultimately, The Art of War, Rules for Radicals. I'm actually finishing off Rules for Radicals right now. There's other books like Thick Face, Black Heart. But there's even books like The Direct Mail Revolution. Okay. As I read some of these books, I'll even cover some book reviews. That's something I enjoyed doing in the past when I was running my newsletter, Inside Strategic Relations a while back, and even the Business Success Journal. I enjoyed book reviews, so I'm going to do that as well. Now, again, I'm doing this more for me than I am for you because I'm not going to know you're out there. I'm not going to know you're benefiting from this unless you raise your hand and tell me. So again, when you write in, tell me about your situation. Tell me about the challenges you face. And if you need a referral to a vendor, I've got a huge network of vendors that we can send you to. But again, I'm not for hire. Okay. You can't hire me to help you. It's just not going to be available for a while. I'm on a sabbatical. So ultimately, this From the Desk program is going to be me cleaning up my office and using 15 to 45 minute segments about specific challenges and problems you have, addressing them on a regular schedule. That's something I'm working on as a personal goal, is to be able to deliver something on a regular basis, and then ultimately driving down so that you can get practical implementation and results. Because again, folks, the biggest problem we're having today is there is so much information available. If I wanted to know what Osama bin Laden had in his library when he got picked up by our special forces, I can go to a website and get that information. But how valuable is that information? Okay, I want to get you practical insights. I want to get you actionable solutions, and I'm going to do it again for high-income professionals and entrepreneurs who are in $1 million plus businesses. You may even own that $1 million plus business, and you want to drive to $5 million, $10 million. You want to double or triple your income. You want to get yourself in a position where you have sustainable wealth and prosperity to grow your assets so that your assets can take care of you through tough times like we have right now. I'll probably still be doing my podcasts for the newsletters that I was publishing when I was running a business. I may have to take down the subscription pages. Again, I'm serving a small number of private clients. Now, this is also serving private clients as well, because there are a lot of times that the solution I provide to them is practical and useful for other people. And so I'll sanitize some of that and provide it out for you. Again, due to the nature of what we're talking about here, you have to let me know if I can use your name on a presentation. But in most cases, I can't tell you who the clients are. I can't describe people's names. And I'm going to share stories about you. I'll leave that for another session. But there are a lot of stories where they're pretty sensitive situations. And today in cancel culture, I'm going to have to offend some people. I'm not going to try to offend you, but I'm going to share with you the fact that what's going on today with all these riots and stuff is actually nothing new. It happens almost regularly, mostly every election cycle. But ultimately, I'll share stories, tips, and tricks. I'll answer your questions. I'll do all I can do to help you get to the next level in the confines of a live presentation and recorded presentations provided to you. The print newsletter will just summarize what I've been covering and get you links to where you need to go. There might be an email newsletter, but really, folks, I'm not going to put a lot of time into it. It's not going to be fancy. There aren't going to be slide decks and stuff unless it's something I already built. But ultimately, folks, I do want to hear your feedback. I want to hear what works for you. I want to hear where your challenges are. And I want to hear what do we got to do to get you to the next level. Because there's probably somebody in my network, 29 years in business. There is more than likely somebody in my network that can take you to the next level, who can unlock what you're looking for in your small business, medium-sized business, in your income, in your wealth building. Again, I'm Justin Hitt from www.justinhitt.com. That's 2 T's, HITT.com. And you're welcome to go and ask me any question that you have, and I will answer it in the series. And now that I got this out of the way, the little introduction, be sure you like and subscribe. That way you can get notifications, a little notification bell if this is on YouTube. But most importantly, when you go to the website, at least get on an announcement list, because I have a number of channels to publish these on, and you'll need to be on the announcement list to know when the live calls are happening. Because if I'm going to take time out of my day to sit down and have a conversation with you, I want to make sure you can be there, okay? Because some of this will be pre-recorded. Again, I want to thank you for watching, and I'm going to continue to transform your business into profits guaranteed. We're going to do that through business relationships and the interactions between elements of your organization. We're going to talk about optimization. We're going to talk about getting you tangible results. My number one goal from every one of these programs is that you take away a few bits of notes and you implement one thing, and that one thing makes your time with me just godsend, okay? I'm wishing you all the best. Again, I'm Justin Hitt, and you can get more information about who I am and stuff at justinhitt.com. Like and subscribe to make sure you get updates. Get on an announcement list over at the website. Thanks for watching.